So several people were asking me exactly what I have been eating so they can copy me on what I'm doing for weight loss. So first of all, I have
For the day I break these chains, I'm bound for the life of the simple things.
been doing basically really dark chocolate. It has to be at least 85%, or not 85, but 80% cocoa. And I give myself half one of these bars for my first meal. I forgot to say that when I was talking about it in the video. I like chocolate, number one, and number two, there's a lot of antioxidants in it, and it's a lot better for you if you go that route than if you're trying to do milk chocolate or some of the others. The other thing is, and it's really important, that this is unpasteurized. So if you're eating kimchi that's pasteurized, it's not going to do anything for you. So this is a Trader Joe's product. It's one of the places I found unpasteurized kimchi. So that means it's still live fermenting, In fact, it says it on the top, and you got to be careful when you first open it because it can bubble over. It's in a plastic jar instead of a glass jar, and I guess it has a way to release some of the pressure from the fermentation. I'm going to be eating this. This is my first meal, and I either do kefir or I do kombucha tea as the drink I have with it. Now, it's got to be unpasteurized, so kefir has to be unpasteurized as well, or you don't get the probiotics, because pasteurization kills all of the microbes, not just the bad ones in something. And so right here is a gingerade flavored kombucha tea that is raw and unpasteurized. So I can't seem to find anywhere real close to where I've been working here in Chula Vista that has unpasteurized kefir. The only place I've been able to find it is Whole Foods, and it's just one brand that I found. So I actually kind of like the kombucha tea better. This brand and the gingerade version is really good. Not only is it good for you, I think it's really good. It tastes good. That's it for this meal, and then the next meal, the second meal I'll do within the next 2 hours, is whatever I am in the mood for. So lately I've been doing like fast food because I've been busy. Sometimes I actually go to a sit-down restaurant and do it, and that's pretty cool, going in and doing that. Like, I hadn't done it in quite a while. I went to Outback and had myself a 13-ounce ribeye, some asparagus, and a side salad. Super good. And then I won't eat again until at least 1 o'clock tomorrow. I try to keep my window like 1 to 5, where I don't eat or drink anything other than water after 5 o'clock, and I don't eat anything or drink anything other than water prior to 1. But sometimes I narrow that, or sometimes I move it just a little bit. It's better if it's exactly the same period every single day, because then you're making sure that you're getting that 20-hour fasted state, and that's where you have 18 hours is really where you get that highest spike of HGH, which is human growth hormone. So which has all kinds of benefits, like it seems to be reverse aging slightly, and when it's administered through injections, even it slows aging. At least some people are saying it reverses it a little. It makes your body choose fat over anything else to utilize for energy, and then when you're in a calorie deficit, it tends to help spare your muscle mass. If you're not in a calorie deficit, it can actually help you build muscle mass. So that's where I'm at, and I'll talk to you a little bit later on what I eat later on today. One last thing I almost forgot is I usually have some live cultured pickles, but I haven't been able to really keep them around. When it gets warm, when it cools off, then I can have them, but I don't really have a fridge set up in the van yet, so I haven't been always doing the pickles. What I've been using the pickles for is that extra food to make sure I'm not hungry, and I'm needing them less and less. But it's a good idea to have a broad spectrum of the probiotics, because frequently there may be some that are missing in one or the other from what I've heard, and then also they may be in different percentages depending on what it is that is you're eating. So I'm trying to keep a range of probiotics. Later. So right now it's just after 5 o'clock. You saw me eat earlier. It was just about 2 o'clock when I was eating the kimchi and stuff. I'm about ready to go over here to Arby's. Today I'm in the mood for one of their big old beef and cheddars, the half-pound one. So that's what I'm gonna get, and then I'm gonna grab myself a green tea frappuccino over at Starbucks while I work on some stuff, some more research, to organize the research to put together a video for you guys about more details, because some people were wanting all the articles that I've read, so I'm gonna get them all together for you. Here we go. Got the good old half-pound beef and cheddar here. Big old boy. I'm gonna add a couple of Arby's sauce there. Got all that beef and a nice frappuccino. Yesterday, after I was done with the Arby's half-pound roasted beef and cheddar sandwich there, and the big old venti green tea frappuccino from Starbucks, I didn't eat a single thing the rest of the night. That's what I do every day, and I still haven't, and it's about 11 o'clock now. I won't until for a couple of hours. The only thing that I allow myself is water during that fasted period. So basically I'm fasting for 20 hours every day. I'm only eating in 4 hours, and I'm having those 2 meals or some variation of the 2 meals that I talked to you about. When my weight loss peaks, I plan to start making a modification to what I'm eating, but I'm trying to do as little as I possibly can and still get weight loss, so that I have the most chance of maintaining that when I've lost the weight that I want, so I hopefully won't gain it back. The big challenge from what all the research says is that the big challenge is once you've lost the weight, leaving it off for at least 3 years, and that's not done very well. Whether somebody goes on a crash diet or whether somebody goes on what's called the slow and healthy way, which they mean a slight calorie reduction, and it done over a prolonged period of time. Once the period of trying to cut weight is over, the largest and longest study on it was 200 people split up in 2 groups. Almost twice as many of the crash diet group actually lost weight, the necessary weight, which was 10% of their body mass. Then they were followed for 3 years. Both groups were followed for 3 years after they'd lost 10% of their body weight, and neither group showed any better ability at keeping the weight off, and 71% of the weight that had been lost was regained by the end of 3 years. So it is good that they still kept some off, but it's definitely not a positive when, you know, just the research says it's hard to keep it off. So I'm hoping by changing it as little possible about my lifestyle that'll let me end up keeping that weight off. But right now what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to get to work. I have these petitions here, and so I'm going to be setting up in front of the Target over there, and right now I'm just getting everything ready to go do that. I just set up a table and a chair over there, and then set up voter registrations and my petitions and try to get people to sign them, you know. I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and film it, just because it's kind of odd for people to sit there and have me have a camera there and filming them signing petitions or anything like that. Maybe I'll see if somebody will film me, the friend of mine that told me about doing this, see if maybe they'll film me a little bit and go from there. But we'll see how she goes. Hopefully I do well today. I have been doing okay. I'm not really excited about how well I've been doing, but I don't really think I've been doing bad either. A couple of people were curious about how my back's been feeling. It's not completely healed up. I still have a little bit of issue with it, but I'm not taking anything. Like, I'm not taking any painkillers, I'm not taking any of the muscle relaxers, so that's, in my mind, that's a positive. I just got done for the day with the petitioning. The last thing I did was I was walking a neighborhood that I have a list for. It's called a walk list, and everybody on the list is a registered voter, so I don't have to try to sit there and figure out if they're registered online while I'm trying to get them to sign the petition and everything. I already know that they're registered when I go to the door and everything. I only did it for about an hour because it got dark on me quick. I hate daylight savings time. Right now I'm getting ready to go into Starbucks here to edit up the video for you, tell you a little bit about what's been going on for me. So I'll talk to y'all later. Get out there, connect with people, live your big story, and make sure you do something every single day to reduce world suck. Peace, guys.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see